Tom, everybody, and welcome back to the next 20 pages of the Law of Attraction. I just came back with a meeting with a very humble person. I don't want to say his name yet, but he's definitely helped me out trying to get into the financial space to get a job in that full-time industry. Right now I'm working a part-time job at Sherwin-Williams selling paint, and it's time for me to get a full-time job. Other than that, I found out he's an actual author of a certain book. I don't want to announce it yet, but as a token of gratitude, he's helped me so much. He's given me so much direction and where to go and how to go about it. And I want to do something special for him, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a breakdown of his book. I'm super excited. I want to get that going. First, I have to buy his book and actually read it and then break it down. But that's probably gonna be like the next 2 books in line, because I have another book in line right after the Law of Attraction. So it'll take some time, but whenever the video comes, I'm gonna let you know exactly who it is, and probably give you some handles on how to possibly get a hold of him if he wants to be contacted. But let's jump right into these 20 pages. And in this video, we're going to be talking a lot about certain methods that you can incorporate into the allowing process. I did mention last video that there's a lot of tools, and today we're going to be pretty much covering all of them, or at least the rest of them. So jumping right into it, more allowing tools. First one, we already talked about this 2 videos ago, which is the bridging the gap of trying to get your desire and with the positive affirmations you have within you. So how do you bridge that gap? Is that by that certain saying, I'm in the process of. If you don't remember that, go take a look at the video. I'll probably include in the description so you can go back to it easily. Otherwise, you can probably click on the playlist and go back to part 4. I don't want to go too in depth with it because it's just going to take up more time in this video. So going on to the second saying, I've decided. This is an actual very, very strong saying that you can say. So a lot of people, whenever they do things, they kind of just say, I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do it, or whatever. You know, those blank statements that don't really go anywhere. They just say, I'm going to do it eventually, or something like that. But to actually put intention towards something, start saying, I've decided. Once you start saying, I've decided, you kind of put that intention to actually doing what you desire. So whenever you say, I've decided to actually take upon a new hobby, which is playing tennis. I don't know, something like that. Or for example, my situation is, for the longest time, I said that I have this idea of 20 pages. I want to do it. I think I'm going to do it. And eventually, after reading the Law of Attraction, I was like, you know what? I've decided that I'm going to do this project. I'm going to start 20 pages because there is something compelling me to do it. I've decided to make that choice and I'm going to do it. So it kind of puts more affirmation towards that desire. Going on to the third saying, lots can happen. You can't really blame, whenever things don't go your way in a certain amount of time, you can't blame time or anything like that. Because honestly, look at the present moment of where you are. Possibly, I don't know how old you are, but look how much days and hours of the future there is ahead of you. There's still lots that can happen. If things aren't happening now, you still have so much time for it to actually happen. So for example, with 20 pages, I plan to have a lot of followers that actually gain a lot of information out of this. Obviously, right now in the starting stages, I don't have that much. But when I say lots can happen in the future, I put that positive energy towards that belief, which means I'm going to get that huge community that I wish to have. Going on to the next tool, ask for information. This is asking the Law of Attraction for information. So whenever you kind of get tied up with something, with some desire, and you don't know how to get there, you simply just have to ask the universe. Because sometimes the universe or the Law of Attraction will respond back to you. Not physically, it's not going to tell you. It's not some majestical saying or person that's going to tell you something. But hey, you never know. The Law of Attraction might bring someone into your life and say it, which will guide you. But all you have to do is just ask for information. Let the Law of Attraction work for you. Now that you don't have it now, or you don't know what you want, or you don't know how to get it, let the Law of Attraction do its work and find it for you. You just have to ask certain questions like, how do I get to it? I need help getting towards a certain direction. Can I get some help or something like that? Show me a sign. Simple things like that. And there's probably other questions. I don't think there's any specific ones in the Law of Attraction in the book. Maybe there is. I totally glazed over it because there's so much content. But going on to the next one, make an attraction box. So I like the idea of an attraction box, but I prefer using something else, but with the attraction box. So, for example, my Ferrari 88. I want this so bad. How can I actually get it? What will bring that desire closer to me? I could simply get a box, get a picture of a Ferrari 488, put it in there, and boom, that's the attraction box. Or I could put like a model car of a 488 in there or something like that. The reason you do that is because once you have like that physical, tangible item, you're eventually going to get the actual thing in the future because you have it like in a as a representation for now, and eventually you'll get it because of that representation. Going on to the next point, create a void. Now, I've read this book, which had a very interesting perspective, which we're probably going to do too in the future. It's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He points out a very great point. Space does not exist until, like the space up there, does not exist unless there's actual things in it, like stars, planets, so on and so forth. Without those objects out there, it's not space. So there's a void in space that is filled with other things. So, for example, whenever you have a cabinet and you have, like, for example, you have some filing to do and you want, for example, new leads, new clients for your company, how do you get that? So open up your cabinet, put a little file tab in there saying new leads. Now that it's empty and you see it, you have to fill that void. How do you do it? By using the law of attraction in your favor. And then you'll be surprised. You're going to start gathering more leads, more clientele, and you'll start growing. It's crazy how it works, but it works that way because there's a void. There has to be something that fills that void, that gap. Like we said with the positive affirmations, there's a way to fill that gap between your positive affirmation and your desires. Going on to the next one, let the law of attraction figure it out. Kind of goes back to the other point or the other tool by asking for information. You have to simply let the law of attraction figure it out for you. You can't do everything. You simply can't. So you have to let the universe resolve those situations for you. Simple as that. Now, going on to the actual second point, not the tools. How to attract more money using abundance. Abundance is a huge concept. We're actually going to talk about that in the next, not the next book, but in the future series. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Abundance is huge for your life. But the three tools that you can use to start creating more abundance with money, or at least start using these examples to attract more, is 1, record your abundantness. So whenever things kind of happen in abundantness, like someone wants to pay for dinner for you, or someone gives you some money because of some situation, you record those down. Why? Because that's abundance. The more you write it down, the more abundance is going to come into your life. Second one is always say yes to money. I know it's hard to say no or it's hard to say yes, not no. I know it's hard to say yes sometimes because like you feel like it's bad because you're taking that person's money and you don't know if they have the money and so on and so forth. But since they are offering you, that means that they are putting that energy out there for you to receive it. That's why you want to say yes. Once you say no, you're kind of already disrupting the law of attraction because you're putting that negative energy towards that no. And therefore, you're not going to get more money. So you have to be grateful and say yes and be appreciative. Always thank the person that's going to be giving you money or however you're getting the money. Always be grateful. And the next point, hold on to that check. Recently, in America, we all got our tax returns, or most of us. I don't know if most of you already spent it, but for those that haven't or still don't even know what to do with it, keep it for a little longer. Why? Because the longer you keep it, the more abundantness you get. The longer you have it, the more you see it, the more before you cash it in and whatnot. And it's going to attract more money to you because you have it. Like you have money in your bank account now. and that tax return is just going to add on to it. So just keep it aside. You know you have money and you're fine with it or without it. So simply just set it aside, keep it there, and be grateful that you have it. Eventually deposit it when you get more money because you have that sense of abundance. That is it. I know I spewed out a lot of information super quick, but I'm trying to fit this in at least 10-minute time frame because there's a lot of information. But follow us on Facebook, guys. Like us or follow us on Instagram. And please subscribe on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the support and take care.